You're such an asshole.
Weekend asshole consulting because Clary's got fuck all to do this weekend. I don't know how he can take a nap. I have a buddy. Oh, I took a nap. Like, how the fuck do you take a nap? What you took a nap on the weekend? Like, what? Don't you have shit you'd rather do? Well, I just took a nap. I'm kind of laid up on a hammock. I'm like, no. Cappy, the guts of my problem is contained in this post that I made in the various subreddit. Here's the deal. Currently a 39-year-old male, never married, no kids. Right now I've got 300 Australian dollars in savings, all in cash, which is about, or 300,000, 250-ish, 240-ish American. Contractually obliged to serve out another 5.5 years with my employer. I'll be 45 and can leave. Savings should hit around 650 to 700,000 Australian dollars. So you could get about like a tenth of a house in Australia. I get a lifetime index pension from 55 onwards. If I leave at 45, it'll pay out 45,000 per year, adjusted for inflation. I'm very seriously thinking about using my personal savings to self-fund an early retirement from 45 to 55. Given that I'm leaning towards retiring in different areas over that period, I'm going to arbitrarily say I need $30,000 per year. You could probably, well, that's Australian. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, you could do that. Now, it'd be nice if investment income would cover all that, but if not, I'm comfortable using some of the principal to prop up my annual income. An extra $10,000 per year, $100,000 to buy a decade of my life back. Sounds good to me. It's nice having that safety net of a pension at 55, so I could probably wear a bit more risk. Edit, I forgot, my super also pays a lump sum, about $145,000 when I turn 60, so that would basically replenish whatever capital I took out of my personal savings from 45 to 55. Given the shortish time horizon and the need for liquidity if investment income doesn't cut it, what do you guys think would be the best investment solution? I'm leaning towards a straight-up term deposit, to be honest. A few more details that might be relevant. All right, so hang on. Let's recertify. Okay, you got $300,000 now, and by the time you're 45, you should have $650. God Almighty, let's just assume a 2% rate times 0.02, which is, oh, it's only 13. Did I do that right? Hang on. Really? 650,000 times 0.02. 13,000. All right, that's still not enough. But then you'd have a lot of money you could pull off on the capital. So yeah, you could, and then your superannuation comes in. All right, yeah, everything looks good here so far. A few more details might be relevant. Oh wait. What could be the best investment solution? I'm leaning towards a straight-up term deposit, to be honest. A few more details that might be relevant. I'm military, if it wasn't obvious. Long story short, the institution isn't what it used to be. Hell, I'm not what I used to be. Plus, if I stick around much longer, there'll be no avoiding an administrative executive role. That's a headache I want no part of. You can't stay enlisted, huh? I remember there was a time back in college, they're like, hey, you want to be a supervisor? No. No, it pays more. No. What else? I can earn 3% on a TD, is that TD Ameritrade? Here over in Oz, inflation is bigger than 1%, and as a raging minimalist, I'm not really exposed to it anyway. Although I didn't mention working at all from 45 to 55, I think in all likelihood I would take casual, low-pressure jobs when and where the mood strikes me, experience a whole range of different things. The Reddit guys almost had me convinced that I was crazy for not pulling the bulk of my savings into an index fund. Yeah, see that? Look, yeah, I could keep going. As long as the governments of the world keep printing off more money to pay for the welfare mothers of the world and just the plain lazy male fucks who don't want to work and become social justice warriors, there's going to be money flooding into different markets, so you're going to have hyperinflation in that. And sure, should you have a little bit of your money invested in an index to diversify, right? But with you as it is right now, and you have all these pensions down the road that will be kicking in, well, even then, if you have $650,000, you have to put it somewhere. So you want to do a diversified portfolio, but I understand your point that you want to take a more of a look at like income. So what's the interest rate pay? What's the dividend yield? I think I'm crazy for not putting the bulk of my savings into an index fund, but now that I've cooled off, I'm thinking if I can make this happen with the lowest possible risk, why wouldn't I do that? Why get greedy? Comments and advice. I agree with you completely. If you are a minimalist and you truly are, you don't need the capital gains. You already have the money. The money will generate this income as long as you account for inflation. Still, it would be wise to diversify for diversification's sake, because basically you do want to have the opportunity for a little bit of investment growth. Not to mention diversity. So if one type of the economy hits so have some precious metals and all that. But I'm totally with you right now. Yeah, if you can go ahead and invest in a very low risk index fund or a bond, high quality bond fund, something where you get your 3%, you can live off of that. Hell yeah! And if you're just trying to cover the gap from 45 to 55 before your pension kicks in, you should be able to. Hang on, let me double check with the math. All right, you got 650,000. 1, 2, 3. And let's say only half of that. Let's just say half of that is going to be used. That's going to be socked away in some investments that you're not going to care about. Okay, so that's 325,000 divided by 10. 32,500 a year plus whatever interest. Yeah, dude, all right, look, your plan will work. There's no guarantee, of course. The economy collapse. Turnbull could, I don't know, do whatever he does that makes him crazy. Okay, so that there's no guarantees. But your math is right. You are a minimalist. You have enough money. Can you dip into your savings to cover the 10-year gap between 45 and 55 and live minimally? Yes, especially if you have a little part-time gig going on. Yeah, you can do it. And then if your pension pays $45,000 a year, it's adjusted for inflation, you are set for the rest of your life. The only flaw I find in your plan is one that is not financial, and that is, where did it go? 39, no kids. Where did it? Oh no, it's up here. Bear with me. Pays out. I love my core duties, but there's so much non-productive bullshit to deal with now. It's getting worse with every passing year. I like to leave with my dignity intact, and I think I'll have the financial means to do that at 45. In fact, it's not even retirement. I'm really after here. What I want is autonomy and authority over my waking hours. I want to choose exactly how I spend my days. A bunch of different jobs. Okay. Here's a problem I guarantee you're going to run into. You have been military your entire life. That is your family. And I know. I love my core duties, but there's so much non-productive bullshit to deal with now, and it's getting worse with every passing year. Dude, in the private sector, in the real world, it's going to suck even more. And right now, you are so accustomed to having this network of people. You don't even know they're there. But Bob, the dumb lieutenant, you guys say lieutenant or lieutenant? I can't remember because we fought a war against the British. You guys are still buddy-buddy with them. But there's this Lieutenant dipshit Bob. Oh, Lieutenant Bob, he's so funny. He folds his toilet paper, whatever. Also, and that guy goes away. And then there's Sergeant Frank. And Sergeant Frank, that dopey fat fuck. And you give each other guff about coffee. And all that goes away. And you are too young to retire. Not financially. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying you shouldn't aim for it. But it is going to be retiring your mind. And this whole unconscious background infrastructure, support structure, mental I'm talking about, is gone. It's by. And so you'll be 45 and you'll be great for maybe 6 months. And then I'm predicting with your brain and your hustle, you're going to get bored. And then you're going to be like, oh, where is everything? And yeah, you'll have the money. The numbers are fine. You could retire. You could drive around. But you're going to be like, well, where is everybody? What do I do now? Where do I go? Maybe you get a year's worth of entertainment of like, oh, this is great. You ride your motorcycle to Perth and back. Whatever. Pull an Adam Piggott. The key problem, the key flaw I see in this plan is that you don't have something to occupy your mind after you retire. So now there's several options. Can you drop down? I don't know if they have this in Australia, but do you have like a reserves or a part-time military, like a militia or we call it the National Guard here, but somewhere you can still keep your foot in that door, still come in? Could you become a contractor, an advisor? But the last thing I'm thinking you're going to want to do is to completely cut off the military and then, hey, fuck you, bye. Because you say you love your core duties, and then you're like, oh, I can't wait to get out into the real world and have some fun and work, and you're going to find out it's way worse than the military. That's my primary concern and fear. So is there a way between now and 45, so you got, what, 6 years, can you find a different, like a plan B in the military? Can you go part-time? Can you just not give up that infrastructure and network that you have right now and then kind of ease your way into it? Because right now it's black and white. You're the military or you're not. And that's a pretty big leap of faith you got to take to like have nothing to do. Now I go find something new to do. If there was a way that you could maybe work part-time now while you're in the military, I don't know if you have that option, but go try and find some little part-time fun work on the weekends. You see how fun your options are. And then, try and find a place where you belong so that after you get out of the military, okay, then you go work as a mechanic or whatever. But just dip your toe into non-military employment and you see what your options and how quality the options are outside of that. Ideally, though, you would drop part-time down in the military, and then you could pursue some other work, pursue some other career, and I don't want to use career because it sounds like too much work, but you go ahead and try and find your dream job and work kind of fun and see how it goes. And if all of a sudden you start finding out, wow, working at this bank or working at this burger shop or whatever it is that you decide to do, working at this rafting company, I thought it'd be fun, but holy shit, there's snakes, whatever. Thank God I have my part-time military work. Thank God I still consult or contract with the military. Thank God I still can re-enlist if I want to. So your numbers are fine. You're set. I think the people on the Reddit board are probably a little bit, well, they're a little bit too cautious, which pushes them towards taking too much of a risk. We're like, invested in the index, you need a higher rate of return. But no, I'm looking at this. If your pension holds out, it's not hyperinflated away and the government doesn't renege on it. You guys don't elect yourself another female prime minister who just decides to like fucking take what John Howard did and fuck it all up and raise your debts. It's going to be hard for you to fuck up your finances, but you could very well fuck up your life. That's the problem. And you're going to have none. And, you may even want to think about this. I know you're going to be getting out at 45, but if you wanted to have kids, well, see, then you got the risk that you'd marry a gal and screw up your financial situation. It's an option. You'd be a great candidate for a dad because you'd have all the time in the world to raise your children. And, you could be a stay-at-home dad while wifey poo goes and works and you just collect your check. But, man, nowadays, especially listen to Adam Pickett. If you haven't, you should. Especially listen to Adam Pickett. It doesn't sound like the Australian women are all that quality. And he's not some angry MGTOW woman hater. He's just like, fuck this. He didn't even marry an Australian woman. It doesn't sound good. From all my agents in the field in Australia, boy, that marriage seems about as risky as it is here in the States. Probably even more so. I could be completely wrong, but I'm sure you guys in the comments down below say that. Anyway, no, your finances, your numbers look great. If you want, you can dip it in a little bit of your soon-to-be $650,000. I'm wondering if you maybe ought to buy a house if you want to stay in Australia, but man, your prices are insane. Fucking insane over in Australia. The larger point is, don't worry about your money, worry about you. What are you going to do when the military job ends? And that is what I'm trying to prevent you from. If you can ease out of the military, but then go back if you need to with part-time work, that's something I'd consider. Or while you're in the military, start looking now for what you want to do next. Because, like I said, I think you're going to be woefully let down with the quality of your options. Because, man, if your core duties, you love them, dude, that right there is worth it. And this bullshit, there's some non-productive bullshit. Like, dude, you've never worked in the private sector, have you? It's all bullshit. It's really 8-hour day. You are working maybe 2, and you're just fucking looking busy for the remaining 6. Because people are fucking idiots. All right, hope that helped out. You guys got questions, Australian or not? Go to America's Older Brother at assholeconsulting.com, where I, the world's only professional asshole, will give you the elderly brotherly advice that you so desperately need, and will make sure you do not become a fuck up like me when you get to be my age. So, we'll talk to you kids later. Toodles.